Hello, everybody, and welcome to another show of Toffee Bluecast. It is that time. We have got another game coming up. We do this pre-match the night before. I think it's the perfect time to get us ready for the big game tomorrow. And a big game it is. We have lined up an opposition fan. We think if we get an opposition fan on, which we often do, it gives a really good head-to-head because you get to look at both teams. And you have a little bit of a fan clash. We all like that. What we do, if you're new to the show, is we do start with looking at Fulham's form. We've got the Fulham fans to talk about that. We'll talk about Everton's form. Then we want you to get involved. We want your lineups in the comments. What lineup you want, your Everton lineup, Fulham fans. We want your Fulham lineup with the Fulham fan we've got on. And we finish with the best part, score prediction time at the end. We don't want your score prediction till the end, and we want your goal scorers on that. Me and Paul hosting. And like I say, we've got a Fulham fan guest on. This is live on X now. So if you do want to comment on X, we pay so you can actually comment and it just comes over from X. If you want to come over to YouTube, there is more people, Everton fans in our YouTube over on YouTube. You can probably chat to them throughout the show and you get to know more Evertons. That's what Toffee Bluecast does. It's bring us together. Paul, how are you doing?
Hello.
Before we introduce the mighty Fulham fan that we've got on?
Yeah, it's been for me personally, it's just been a bit of a long, dull kind of week. And I think it comes off the back of the Sunderland game, to be honest. That set up the week and it didn't sort of improve either. So it'd be nice to get back to normality tomorrow and just really want a good performance. Christ, we want a goal. Please, So hopefully after this humdrum, pretty rubbish week, we have a cracking weekend.
Yeah, it's a bit of a... I mean, we just spoke to we've got him behind closed doors there, and we just spoke to Russ in the background, and he was like, how are you feeling after that transfer window? And it's going to be interesting to see what you lot have got to say this show, because there's a lot of stuff to say throughout the show. I think there's a lot of feelings up in the air at the minute after that last game, and the last few games as well. Our last Toffee Bluecast match reaction, there's a lot of people down, so I'm interested to see how you're feeling now, whether you feel okay or whether you still feel the same after you felt like how you felt after that game. Right, so we've had him on before because we like him. We get him on all the time now when we play Fulham. Of course we do. Until we fall out and we have a Royal Rumble on the show, we'll keep getting him on. Of course we will. Right, let's give him an introduction. Let's get ready to rumble! How are we doing, Russ? Are you okay?
I am good. Thanks, Dan and Paul, for having me back. I look forward to joining you guys whenever our clubs play. So I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to getting into this match with you. I did my own preview, but I always enjoy also coming on with you guys.
Yeah, great to have you on, and interested to see what you've got to say on Fulham. So how are you? We always start, don't we, Paul, by asking, how are you feeling this season? I think that's the main question, isn't it? How are you feeling with Fulham this season?
Mixed bag, because it's funny. I was messaging you guys. It's kind of the point where Fulham are pretty predictable, and I'll mention that during the show. They had a very strange transfer window. You guys might be aware of it, where we only basically signed players at the very end of the window, and it kind of went to the very end, which was shocking for us, and because we were hoping that they would build on from what they did last season and really give Marco Silva more reinforcements. He did bring in some good players. I'm talking about the owners for Marco, but there's a lot going on there behind the scenes, guys, that I'm not really happy about, and I'm actually I don't know what to make of this team that you're going to see. The only thing I can tell you is that it's a team that can beat any team on any given day, and it can lose. It's really a team that is where it should be. It's really a mid-table team. And that to me is disappointing because I wanted to build on from what they did. But I have not seen evidence that they have. And like I said, there's a lot going on behind closed doors with Fulham Football Club, with the manager, with the ownership, that I think is really has this cloud over the club because he's in the last year of his contract. And I'm not feeling great about where Fulham are right now, but I know that they're going to be a comfortably mid-table side. I just want more than that, and that's kind of why I'm a little bit disappointed with not just the start, but just the direction that they were going this season.
I think we're similar in that way. I just think over the last 3 or 4 seasons, because we're kind of hoping for an improvement going up. You guys at the moment are sort of looking for. But I think both clubs see.
We have had a freeze.
Yeah, I saw that.
It froze you out there, Paul.
Did it? Sorry. I was just gonna say, we're next to each other in the table.
Yep.
But our fans are some of our fans still look at us as relegation fodder, which I'm hoping less and less of us do. But you guys don't feel that because of what's happened over the last few seasons.
Right. What's interesting, Paul, is that I don't view Everton that way. I don't view Everton. I view Everton like when I first started becoming a supporter, a team that I think eventually will be where I remember them always being is in the 6th to 8th position. That's where I always saw Everton. And then slowly it started to slip. And now, obviously, the last few seasons, it's gone to be in relegation battles. I don't see that as where you're headed. I know you guys might not look at it that way, but that's where I see it. Like I said, you brought in some players. I know the transfer window maybe wasn't what you guys wanted, but I see brand new stadium, a manager that might not be everyone's favorite, but I know someone that can stabilize a club. And I don't see you heading backwards. See you heading forwards. That's when I look at Everton. That's where I see. And I hope you head towards the top half of the table where you belong.
Yeah, I agree.
Russ, I know when you support a football club, it's completely different when you're in there. And for us Everton fans, like you say, you'll know Fulham different to what we know Fulham. Because as an Everton fan, we're not inside as a Fulham fan and get the feelings and watch every game and see what happens. So for us Everton fans at the minute, what you probably don't know is a lot of Everton fans are frustrated with David Moyes because substitutions is the main thing. We've got a big squad now. Like you said, we had a really, really good transfer window, which I think has put more pressure on David Moyes because he's got like 5 good players on the bench now, as well as 11 good players on the pitch. So there is pressure on Moyes, but a lot of people frustrated that he's leaving players on sometimes when he probably shouldn't. And I won't say it's dramatic to say some people want David Moyes out. I'm not there yet. I'm not. But I think some people, maybe people in the comments now, let us know. They're fuming with David Moyes because they feel that, like you said, I think if you was to ask us after that transfer window at the start of the season where we feel we should be, we would have said we've got to be going for Europa League conference this season.
Exactly.
Mm.
Making the big signing like Jack Grealish.
Yes.
Massive signing. We brought in some really good, £27 million on a striker. We brought the German young lad in Merlin Roll. We brought a left back as well to cover that position. We spent Dewsbury Hall as well, big money signing for us. That was a big signing as well. On top of finishing last season strong, because last season I think we finished the season beating Newcastle, Arsenal not being able to beat us as well. We finished so strong and then brought players in on top of that. We wanted to be what we was last season and be a bit better, but it feels like we're backwards now because we're around that relegation zone. What's your thoughts on that?
So, in my opinion, I think any club, and again, Moyes is trying to figure it out, and I understand that there might be supporters that are not happy with his substitutions and his decisions. Listen, this might surprise you, and I messaged you this, that right now I'm not too happy about Marco Silva, because I can tell you right now that Marco Silva has taken Fulham to a certain level, and I don't know if he can take Fulham to the next level. So, and there might be many Fulham supporters that disagree with me, that they think that Marco Silva is a genius, and that's actually what we call him, a genius. But I will tell you that I know that there are certain managers that can only take you to a certain place, and then maybe you need to get better. Marco Silva doesn't change anything. Marco Silva is very predictable. Marco Silva will have a great game plan for the match tomorrow. The question is, will he adjust during the game? And the answer is no, he won't. So that's something that has always bothered me about him. But the thing when I look at you guys is that I just think you're scratching the surface. I think he's still figuring it out. Now, someone from the outside that's watched Moyes' career, first time with Everton, then all of his other situations, I thought the Manchester United thing failed miserably, but I think he was set up to fail with the situation of following someone like Sir Alex Ferguson. It was really just asking too much. It's a guy that I know that can be conservative at times. I'm talking about David Moyes. West Ham fans went at him too. But I think it's a good fit for you. I just do. And I think he will stabilize you. The question is, can he take you to Conference League, Europa League? I think he can. He's done it with West Ham. Why couldn't he do it with Everton?
On what you just said, where you was on about your manager Silva saying that he's taking you to a certain place, but can he go to the next level? West Egg says it sounds exactly like Moyes. I think because we've got Moyes in our head of when we had him the first time,
right?
Where he took us to always getting Europa League top four. We got us top four, and he couldn't win us a cup. He couldn't do it with us. But like you've just said, he did do it with West Ham. So
that's my point, guys. My point is there is a track record there.
Yeah, he has broke that egg. So I don't know. Hopefully, that West Ham Moyes is the Moyes that we're going to get. I think we're just not sure at the minute. He needs to. What would you say on Moyes, Paul? You're still behind him, ain't you?
Yeah. I think he's had one transfer window, arguably. We sorted out Alcaraz properly in January, but he's had one transfer window, and I found the press conference interesting. Actually, some of the questions that were asked. Julia asked him Julia asked him a couple of decent questions. Someone asked him about possession as well, and that actually our sort of average percentage of possession is higher than it's almost ever been before when he was here previous as well. And that was an area that we all felt needed to be addressed. And so that seems to be addressed, but obviously the next major thing to be addressed is putting the ball in the net, and he's got to do something about that. So that's his next thing, and I'm quite willing to give him the time to try and get us from where we were, because it was only, he came in January. Before that, we had Deitch. For the 3-4 years before that, we were surviving last days. So it ain't going to go from, him in January to bam, we're in Europe in a short space of time, So there are plenty of places that need to be improved. I don't think all the signings are great at the moment. It was good. We were all hopeful. Some of them haven't panned out yet properly. Maybe that's going to be time as well, because some of them are a little bit younger. Some of them can't get in the side. But I think we are improving as a side. League table from last year. Oh, thank you. League table from last year compared to this year after 10 games, we're up by 3 points. So as a league table point of view, it wouldn't say that we're a better side than we were. But I do think we've got better players. I just don't think we're putting the ball in the net enough. And that's the main thing. So I'm more than willing to give him time. We're very reactionary as a species, football fans, especially us, especially Blues. I know most clubs will say the same about themselves. And we could, in these next sort of 4 fixtures, there's some tricky ones. We get 2 wins out of that. Suddenly people are a little bit more mellow about it. And, those people who are creeping in and sort of saying, oh, we're in a relegation battle again, they mellow out a little bit and just calm down a touch, because I don't think we're anywhere near that. And I know some people will disagree with that because we aren't putting the ball in the net properly. But overall, I think we're in a better spot than we were a year ago, without a doubt.
I do think that because we've been in relegation battles, not last season, but the seasons before, I think because we've been in relegation battles, we're quite nervous at the start of the season, because I think when you see us now drop from looking like we was going to be Europa League 2 games ago, we looked like it was going to be Europa League, and all of a sudden we lose 2 games and it looks like we're going to get relegated because it's only the start of the season. 3 points makes a big difference on the table. But I think us Everton fans at the minute, soon as we get near the bottom, we get very scared because we've been scarred. We have been in relegation battles where we've just stayed up. So I can see why we're nervous. And some of us are probably thinking, you know what, if something's going wrong, we've got to call it out because we need to make sure early we don't get in a relegation battle. So I can see why people are feeling that. But then I also get the end. Sometimes you've got to probably trust that David Moyes might come good. And once he gets going and figures these new players out, will be a force this season and be fine. So there is 2 ends of it. Would you swap managers, Russ? Would you have Moyes and we have Silva?
No, I wouldn't swap them just because of
one, isn't it?
No. I would listen. I have a lot of respect for David Moyes. I'm not going to say that at all, and I've mentioned that, and I think that you have the right man right now, and I think you just need to give him time. As you guys keep talking about, is it fair to give him 1 transfer window? I don't think so, and I think he needs time to work with the players. I mean, listen, we're dealing with this right now. We brought in 2 exciting wingers, and they just have not had a chance to really get into the team yet because they came so late. So I think it's not fair to make judgments. My judgment on Silva is different because it's more big picture. It's not about where they are on the table. And I did a show about that for me, he's not under pressure because of where they are on the table. He's under pressure because I don't know if he can take us to where I want him to go. And plus, I know for a fact, because I've had I got a few sources that really Marco Silva was meeting with the chairman of Tottenham, Daniel Levy, and in fact, I heard one time was several times. I think he really wanted that job, and I also had a source tell me that he told the owners of Fulham that he was going to do this because he wanted to be honest with them. So, how would you feel knowing all this that I know now that you have a manager that is already looking past his team a little bit, or basically, listen, he has a right to look at better jobs, and I don't criticize him for that, but I'm a Fulham supporter, and I'm thinking, you need to be able to concentrate on Fulham, and at this point, he has not signed a new deal. He's in the last year of his contract, and I'm starting to think maybe he has tactically taken Fulham as far as he can, just because he's very predictable and he is extremely stubborn. He does not change his ways. I don't know if he was like that with you guys, but for me, you know what you're going to get. He's one of these managers that I say he does what he does. He doesn't really change things. I think David Moyes does change things. And I like a manager that is willing to adjust during a game if things aren't working right. That's not what Marco Silva does. Marco Silva does what Arteta does at Arsenal. Now, it works at Arsenal, but Arsenal supporters get criticize Arteta because he doesn't change anything. It's just his plan B is plan A. And that's Marco Silva too. So for me, I understand why you guys are nervous, but I like your manager, but I wouldn't swap him because I know what we have right now.
In terms of, I was going to say, Russ, in terms of you're saying he's taken you as maybe as high and as far as you can go. Would anyone else be able to do that, or is that going to be a money thing? Because I feel as though with Moyes, I feel as though he might be similar in what you're saying about Marco, but we might have a little bit of money now coming our way.
Well, you guys definitely do.
It'd be interesting to see the reasons for not getting high enough,
Yeah, right. Well, again, you guys, listen, I think are in a tremendous situation. New stadium, new revenue coming in. Again, influx of money should be coming in. And the one thing that will have to be decided, I would say within a year, is he the right man? And then you need to continue to back him and get him his entire team, his vision. Is this his vision? Only you guys can tell me that. Or is this part of the Deitch team and he's just trying to make his own team? That's why I think a manager of this guy's stature, I know of the history of what happened after he left, but I also know the near history. And I know West Ham supporters were ready to get rid of him, but he brought them a trophy, for God's sakes. He brought them a trophy. He has it in him. Yeah. I know he's a good manager, guys. I just do.
You see, it's mad because when you support a team, it generally is another, like you say, your opinion on Moyes, and then you've got some Everton fans in the comments now really frustrated that he's got a reputation of not playing young players. We brought Tyler Diblin, as you probably know. Yeah, he's not playing the young players. But then one thing I will say to you lot in the comments as well, I think sometimes when we've seen these young players, they haven't shown that they should be playing. I mean, Moyes has given Tyler Diblin a game in the cup games, and he's given him a few games when he's come on, and Tyler Diblin hasn't been chomping at the bit, asking Moyes big questions. He hasn't, and it was the same with Asnu as well. We all really wanted to see Asnu, but he did look very fragile down that left-hand side. Moyes has played Jake O'Brien, who is only 23, so we can't say you don't play young players. Jake O'Brien took his chance, and Moyes has played him. Same with Branthwaite as well, another young player. Moyes has played Branthwaite when he's been fit, so maybe just these young players are letting Moyes down, and it's not so much that Moyes won't play young players. That's just what I think. I can't be completely biased against Moyes and say don't play young players, because he has given the young players a chance that have performed. Wouldn't you say that, Paul?
Yeah. Hindsight's a wonderful thing as well, isn't it? He made a point. I don't know how accurate people agree with it, but he made a point of a lot of younger players who we've had in the past have taken time to get in the side, and then they end up being some people's all-time 11. It can work like that, and sometimes it's so hard for us to be patient and see a bigger picture and everything else, because the league works so quickly and things can go so well one week, and literally 2 or 3 days later you can feel the exact opposite because of one result. So the idea is that you do want younger players come in and doing things, but it's not a quick process. It's not a quick process. So that's why it can be frustrating.
Guys, I'll give you an example of a team that I don't want you to be, and I don't want Fulham to be either, is a team like Nottingham Forest. Let's use them as an example, because they flew up the table last season, and look how that imploded. Look how that really has imploded this season. And I don't see Everton heading in that direction. It's almost like a slow buildup. And I know that you want it all now. You want it all now. But if you look at, I'll use Sunderland as another example. You guys just played Sunderland. I don't rate Sunderland. I think that they are playing over their heads, and that they will end up farther back than where they are now. They are doing well for who they are. eventually in the second half of the season, I think everything is going to shift. And I think a team like yourself and my team too will be chomping at probably a top half table situation. Neither one of us are there right now, but I think that's where we're headed. Whereas I think teams like a Sunderland won't end up there because I think they're way over their heads, like Nottingham Forest were last season. And I don't want, and again, listen, besides Fulham, I like you guys, so I always have an eye on Everton because of you guys. And I just don't see you guys I don't see you guys in a relegation battle. I don't see it. I know that you've got that in your head because of what has happened in the past. I just don't see it for you.
Yeah. And I think sort of common thing between both of our sides is that I think we're getting there now, is that we've got a stronger foundation within the squad.
Exactly.
We've got now strong foundations in the club, and at the moment ownership and everything's rosy from both club sides in that. And I think we've got things that maybe Sunderland and one or two other teams who are maybe being over successful at the moment have got, in the fact that we can lose maybe a player, but then someone can come in and do that job when we're a little bit more consistent.
Emma's right, by the way. Emma's right about that comment.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. But I don't see either of our teams being in major problems.
No, because guys.
I was just going to say, you have got to be careful, like you just said, Russ, onto what you're saying. You've got to be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you sack David Moyes, and I think you go back to when we first got Moshiri, where these new owners, we've seen it with Roma, they've got a reputation of sacking managers, and you can change manager, and you get all these different players in all these different styles, and it completely crashes your football club. So
that's right.
Yeah,
I think we've got to be very careful on what we wish for. I do think that we should demand good, and if David Moyes is slacking, he shouldn't just stay just because. So there is pressure on him. I do think that we've just got to be careful as well. I mean, Paul, you've got the form there of Fulham, haven't you?
Yeah. Let me just throw that back up. This is how Fulham have got on recently. Throw the League Cup in there, and it looks a little bit rosier, obviously. And away at Newcastle, home against Arsenal, only losing by a goal. It's not the worst sort of run of performances in the world. So they're not an easy side for us recently to beat either. We had a good away day last season, and that was welcome. But Fulham, like Russ said, on their day, they can do it again. I keep going off a little bit, don't I? Sorry.
Have you got our form as well, Paul?
Yep.
Just gonna have a look at ours. I mean, ours has gone rubbish on it, but it's really weird with us because I feel like I didn't think we were so low in the table until I looked. I was like, why are we there? Because I felt like we was doing okay, because we up until last game we was unbeaten at our new stadium, and I thought unbeaten at our new stadium, we're doing all right, and then we lost obviously the game at the stadium, and but the away form has been nowhere near as good as it was last season. I think that's a massive thing, because we was actually going away and looking like, we was winning games and looking like we was unbeatable, but this season we don't seem to have that away form. But we have, like Fulham, been in most games. I don't think we've been battered by anyone, have we?
The Spurs.
I mean,
that's the main bit, really.
Do you know what, though? I know we all side up for a team, but Spurs game was 3 set pieces. It was ridiculous. And then it was literally 2 set pieces straight away after each other. When we was massively in the game, first half, we was decent. But 2 set pieces, Van der Ven, and then all of a sudden counter-attack when we try and get back into the game. So it looked like a spanking, but it was just poor from us, that game was. I don't. It was just, probably our biggest defeat. But Spurs, don't take me back to that one. That was bad. That is the form. Should we chuck Russ's lineup then? What he wants?
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah,
Sounds good.
Let me take that off.
Let's have a look at Russ's lineup. This is you're not sure of Silva, so if Fulham do want someone, this is Russ's lineup. So if he wants the job, this is his CV basically. Because if you like it, Fulham.
Well, this is my starting 11, not what I think he's going to do tomorrow.
Let me just Go on, sorry, Russ.
Okay, so what I have is Leno, Tete is your right back, Anderson and Bassi make a good center back pairing. Jedi is injured, so he will not be able to be involved. He's the only player that's actually ruled out of this match. Ryan Sessegnon has done a nice job at left back, but honestly, I think he will be a better player as a winger, but right now we need him as a left back. This is where it gets interesting. So in the last match, this is the lineup from the last match that Fulham put out, that actually Marco put out to win the match. And I'm going with his team. It was Iwobi as the 8, Berga as the 6, and then he had Kevin as your left wing. On your right, you had Wilson. And the danger player, guys, that I think could make a big difference in this game is Josh King. Young player. He is a player to look out for, not just for Fulham, but for England someday. And then I have Raul up front. I'm going with his team. I don't think that Marco is going to do this, though. What I think Marco is going to do is I think he's going to take out Iwobi and put Lukic in there with a double pivot, and then take Kevin out and put Iwobi over there. That's what I think he's going to do, which I think is a mistake, which would be a safe way to play against Everton. I don't want to play safe against Everton. I want to be more aggressive against your side. That's why I have Iwobi in the middle. He played great in the last match as the number 8. He pulled the strings. That's where I want Alex Iwobi, but I don't think that's what he's going to do.
I've watched Fulham quite a bit, actually. I don't know why. I've just randomly been watching quite a lot of football, and I have watched some of your games. I can't remember which team it was. King, yellow card straight away, and I think he scored later on to make up for it, or gave a penalty away. He did something stupid, and then he scored straight away to make up for it. That young player that you've got looks good, but looks raw. He's kind of, sometimes I think, is he young and can he handle it? But then sometimes he turns up and you can see he's got a bit of something. Tete, watched him last game, yellow card straight away. Jack Grealish against him. I think he can get another yellow card against Jack Grealish. Emma says he's going to get booed. Of course he is. You reject Everton, you get him booed. I like Bassi. I think Bassi's a bit of a pit bull. I do. He can handle big players. I think Bassi's quite good. Wilson, he's been decent for you. I know he hasn't always been getting a game, but last couple of games he's played for you, he scored a cracking goal when I watched him for you. Right. Lovely first take. That was beautiful. Kevin, I've watched Kevin, and he looks like he's fast as lightning. Like, I wish we would have signed him. Let's just say that.
He's very fast. Yeah, very fast.
I think eventually he's gonna compete with Jimenez to be the main striker, because he's got a bit. I would love Kevin, to be fair, at Everton, because he looks like an absolute machine. And Jimenez, we all know him, so they've got a bit here, haven't they? You've got a decent team. That's a good. I think that your team there. I'd be more scared of your team than what I think he's going to play, because I do think what you said, he's going to worry about us and put Lukic in, because he's going to be more worried about what we're going to do than actually thinking he should hurt us. So I think you're right.
Exactly. And, I just did this on my show. And the one thing that I think he will do, like I said, if he plays Kevin from the beginning, I'd be very happy. I think what his plan for this match will be is to have Kevin come on in probably about the 60th minute, along with Chukwueze. Chukwueze is a dangerous winger, to take Wilson and Lukic off and then put Iwobi in the middle for the last 30 minutes. That's what I think he's going to do to try to go very direct with our wing. Our wingers, like I said, Kevin and Chukwueze are very direct and very dangerous. But I don't think he's going to do that against your side. I think he's going to give your side a lot of respect and be worried about stopping you. And that's why I think he's going to play Lukic, because Lukic and Berga offer you very little going forward. Iwobi offers you a lot more. Yeah, I know how you feel about Iwobi, Dan, but he does have something to offer. And he pulled the strings against Wolves, and I hope he plays him centrally.
I have been watching it. Like I say, when I've watched it, I have been watching Iwobi, and he hasn't been as bad as he was for us. That's one thing, and that's a compliment from me, because he has looked like your main creator when I've watched him on that left-hand side. I think he's played when he's played, but he has been half decent. Paul, what do you think of this team? You scared of it, or you see weaknesses?
I think I like Fulham as a team, because I think that's what they are. I think they are a team. I don't think they've got superstars. They're solid as a unit, but they attack well. I think they've got good fullbacks. I think that's the key battle. I think Tete against Grealish, Sessegnon against Ndai. Hopefully, those lads can get forward and can be involved in Fulham's goal, especially Sessegnon. So that's a key battle for me. That is a massive key battle, and I would like the fact if Ndai does play tomorrow, because Moyes said a couple of things, but it wasn't crystal clear about whether he would play. I'd like to see Ndai go at the likes of Bassi, come inside, find one or two spaces on the edge of Fulham's box. Because I don't see, obviously you got Berger there, but I don't see Iwobi obviously as a defensive midfielder or whoever is in there alongside him. So whereas in the middle, we do tend to have, say, James Garner and Garner Gay, who are very sort of defensive and play deep. So the space is there, I think, in front of Anderson and Bassi. But we've got to get away from their fullbacks. And if we can force Tete and Sessegnon back, if we're able to do that, then I think we can create enough chances to actually get on the score sheet with maybe more than one goal. That'd be really good.
I might be wrong on this, Russ. Have you got Traore as well? Have I seen him play?
We do have Adama, but Adama, hit or miss. I think you guys know he is extremely hit or miss. But for me, when everyone is healthy and ready to go, Adama's now at the point where I would just be throwing it on 15, 20 minutes if you really wanted. If you're desperate, I would put him on, but I'm not starting Adama Traore at this point.
No.
When I watched him, he did run a couple of balls out of play and hit it too far in front of him, which we know he can do and not have that final third ball. But I do see him as a weapon sometimes. If you are to look at like making Jack Grealish think twice about getting forward so much, Mikalenko could struggle with Adama, I think.
Well, that's actually
I remember
that's a good point, Dan.
Yeah, we have got history of him. So I would rather you not play him. All I'm saying is I'm happy you ain't playing him, because we have got a little bit of history where if we did overcommit getting forward and Mikalenko was one-on-one with him, I think Mikalenko could struggle with him. That's nothing against Mikalenko.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Traore. When we're if we're chasing Traore last 15 minutes, to break away is ideal. I think.
Well, guys, I will tell you that I would be more afraid of Chukwueze coming on than Traore coming on. Chukwueze and Kevin, a lot of pace, and they're very direct. He has a lot more skill than Adama Traore. I'm talking about Samuel Chukwueze. I'm being honest. He's looked very good in small times that he's been on the pitch with Fulham, and that's the player that I'd be more worried than Adama Traore.
The thing is, we spoke about transfer windows, and I know you was frustrated when we had you on when Tete was linked to us, but I actually think you brought in some good players at the end. Now we're speaking about it and we're looking at your team. I think you brought in some. I think Kevin's a good one. I think Quasi that you've just said as well. I think you brought in some really good players. I think you've did well. You've got a strong team. I'm just looking at you and I'm thinking, Russ, you know what? You've got a bit. This isn't an easy game for us. It's quite a hard game, I think.
Well, Dan, to be honest with you, you're right about those two players. But the fact that, in all seriousness, it's really about those two players. When I look at Everton, look at all the players you guys brought in, I think that is something that we're just frustrated that there's something going on with the club that it really went down to the wire to bring in these two players. But like you mentioned, they are quality players and they are hopefully positions where we really needed some directness, and now we have it. And I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but it looks really good. That's why I'm excited to see Chikwueze and Kevin start at some point together. Have not seen that yet. I don't expect it against Everton, but when they do come on, I really want to see what the two of them look against any team, including yours. So we'll see.
You've got at least it's good to have stuff to look forward to. We've got that with a bit of young talent in the squad as well. People, you are getting your lineups. You are getting your lineups in. Sorry, Paul. I was just going to say they are getting the lineups in, as I can see.
Yeah, I've got plenty actually. I was just going to say it's interesting that Fulham are now buying players who just go by their first name. Raul, Kevin, Wilson. Is that a club policy? Is that what we're trying to do in Fulham? And just everyone by their first name?
Nothing that I know, Paul. But they could buy Russ, which would be me, but I wouldn't buy me. But no,
that'd be ideal.
No. But to be honest with you, what's interesting is that they've added some teammates. So if you look at bringing Kevin in, again, bringing another Brazilian, which I think is good for Fulham. They paid a lot of money for him, and bringing in Chikwueze, which is a sneaky good deal, not just because of what he can offer, but the fact that he is really close with two other Nigerian players, Iwobi and Bassi. So we've got 3 Nigerians on our team, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, we're all going to be screwed in January, though, aren't we? When they all bugger off to Africa.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, not off. Shall I go through some of these other suggestions then for our lineups?
Shall I check ours on, Paul? Well, it's going to be your lineup, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go on. I was jumping the gun, but yeah, go for.
You was getting ahead of the gun there, weren't you? It's your lineup as well. So this is Paul's lineup. Like
it's not inspiring, though. It's what I expect to happen, to be honest.
No, don't down talk it, mate. I asked you could pick any lineup you wanted. Russ has gone completely attacking. A little bit here.
No. Well, you know what? I mean, what I would do, I'd move Grealish and put him in the 10 is what I would do. I'd put Ndiaye on the left-hand side and have give Diblin a good hour on that right-hand side. Drop Dewsbury Hall for an hour or for a game and see where we go from there. I think this is what Moyes will probably do. I think he's like you were saying about Marco Russ, stubborn in that way. Don't want to make too many changes because if it's anything too drastic and it goes wrong, then that's more of a disaster. Right. And also as well, someone said it in the comments before. You got Grealish and Ndiaye. If they're both playing, would you drop either of them to play Diblin or whoever else was Alcaraz or whatever? So. There's a few questions there. I don't think he'll change very much. If everyone's fit, that's what I expect him to do, rightly or wrongly. I do think the substitutions on the hour are key, absolute key. And if it's not working with Dewsbury Hall, then I think he's got to consider Alcaraz or Dibbling earlier than the 85th minute.
I thought Moyes was a little bit snappy in the press. When we always some people say, Moyes, it's fine what Moyes has said, like the side up from him. I get it because but when Moyes said, I think Julia said, you paid big money on Tyler Diblin. Do you think that makes big questions on him because you paid big money? And Moyes was like, 36 million. I think we paid 36 from it. It wasn't big money, Moyes said. No, I disagree. I just want to say, for a lad Tyler Diblin's age, that hasn't got massive stats from last season and the team that got relegated, I think we paid a lot of money for him. For what we've spent as well in the past, I think 36 million on a winger, or 40, whatever it was, the Tyler Diblin was a lot of money. So I disagree with Moyes there. And then she said about Diblin getting a chance, and Moyes said, well, he's going to struggle to get a chance ahead of Grealish and Njai, which I completely agree with that. But you've got to remember, Moyes played McNeil instead of Tyler Diblin. So that's what people was hinting at more, is that, yes, we understand that Diblin's behind Grealish and Njai, but we thought Diblin would be next. And the fact that we got McNeil next instead of Diblin completely confused us Everton fans. So we probably think McNeil's ahead of now.
There was a comment Moyes made, and it was ever so brief, but it was about Diblin. When he was asked about it, and he said the phrase "up his training." So that to me is sort of he's obviously not doing as well in training as McNeil is, so that's why he came on. But is it he's not quite up to fitness speed? Is it something like that? Don't know.
I've seen on X Ball, on X. I've seen a lot of. It comes out the woodworks now. I've seen a lot of fans from his ex-club saying Tyler Diblin's got a bit of an attitude problem and an ego problem where he thinks he's better than what he is before he is what he is. And they're saying that he's... And then Moyes has gone and said about him training. So I think that he all this reputation that Tyler Diblin's had, that he's going to be the next Jack Grealish, he probably thinks he is it before he's actually earned it, and he needs to start getting his head down and frigging start working hard and graft at training and become what, because you don't. That's the problem with some of these young players. They look a bit good, and then you say they're going to be this, but they've got to still go through that journey and process to become that player. And I think he needs to start. He don't graft enough when I've seen him, Tyler Diblin, and I think that's why he hasn't been given a game as much, because I want to see him bomb it back. I want to see him get stuck in. I want to see him work hard, like Njai does, like Grealish does. I want to see Diblin give 110% and not just think he's the man on the pitch. Don't have to work hard. So that's what I think on Tyler Diblin at the minute. And if you watch him, you'll see it. I hope that he livens up a little bit, because he is a big signing for us, a big money signing, in my opinion. What have we got on the lineups? What lineups do people want? That's ours. Well, mine and Paul's kind of.
Well, what would you change? Because I kind of threw that of what I expect and stuff. What would you make different? Would you play Beto for a start? I bet you would, because you want him to score, don't you?
Well, do you know what? I think Barry, 27 million. I think he's not ready yet, and I think Beto did score 5 and 5 last season. So, just on the fact that Beto's got a better CV than Barry at the minute, I would give Beto another go. They're both playing crap. They're both awful. We are really struggling with the striker situation. But I would play Beto, because I think Beto will ruffle up Bassey. It'll maybe force him into mistakes. I don't know. Or Anderson.
That's what we talked about on our show, by the way.
Yeah,
we talked about Beto, that Beto was the better option against us than Barry.
Yeah. I just think Barry won't, because you've got big centre backs. Barry might get bossed by your centre backs. Like,
that's right. That was our argument.
But I think Beto likes getting ruffled up by centre backs, because that's when he's at his best, when he just runs into them, when we get knockdowns for the number 10 and stuff happens. I think Beto needs someone to smash him up for him to be the best Beto he can be. So I could see, I would play Beto this game, but it wouldn't surprise me if Barry plays, because they've both been awful. What I would change is I want Dewsbury Hall to go back into a deeper position so we can see Alcaraz in the number 10. I think Alcaraz could be good against these as well. I just want to see Alcaraz, because Dewsbury Hall hasn't been good enough in the 10 for me. And Moyes says we need to get Dewsbury Hall on the ball more. So I think I'd love to see Dewsbury Hall go deeper. You'd obviously probably lose James Garner or Garner Gay, but help us with possession a little bit more and play Alcaraz in the 10. So that is what I would probably do. I'd sacrifice Dewsbury Hall going deeper and put Alcaraz in the 10. And I think that makes us really attacking then, because you've got like 2 attacking midfielders with 1 sitting, where there you've got 2 defensive sitting and just Dewsbury Hall. So That is probably what I would do. Alcaraz, I think he's got goals in him, and he needs a chance. I'd love to see and we all know as Everton fans, and I'm pretty sure you'll say it in the comments, Beto's played better when Alcaraz has played in the 10. I don't know why, but they connect a little bit better. Alcaraz gets the knockdowns. He knows what Beto does, and Beto seems to play better. So I would drop Dewsbury Hall deeper with either Garner Gay or James Garner, and let Alcaraz play in the 10. That's what I'd do. What have we got in the comments?
Yeah, lots and lots. Here we go. Altel went for Pickford, Mikalenko, Keane, Tarky, and James Garner right back. There's a lot of love for James Garner at right back. I don't know whether it's because they want him out the middle or they're not liking Jake O'Brien, which I'd be surprised about. Jake O'Brien's sort of filling in gaps at the moment. But there's a lot of love for Garner. Merlin alongside Garner Gay, Grealish, Alcaraz, Ndai, and then Barry starting up front. Peter went for Garner at right back, Taki, Keane, Miko, Garner and Merlin again. Alcaraz, Ndai, Grealish, and Barry. Nick went for Coleman. Give Coleman a game.
Coleman.
Drop Tarkov, O'Brien and Keane in the middle. Garner left back. Merlin Roll and KDH as the middle two.
See, there is options though. When you look at that, he's completely mixed it up and he's gone different there with Merlin Roll, cracking centre midfielder. There is options here. I like that one.
There is, yeah. It's absolutely not what boys would do, but I get what Nick's trying to say. Dibbling, Grealish, Ndai, Barry again, starting up front. Pause. Sir Pickford, Jimmy Garner, Lord Jim, right back. Zara O'Brien and our striker, or best striker at the club, Mick Keane, along with Miko left back, Magic Merlin and KDH as a middle two, so dropping Garner Gay again. And I on the right.
I am in love.
10. He is. Man crush for Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. And big brave Barry as opposed to Beto up front. Here's Emma with her emojis. So Peachy Pickford. James Garner there, ex-Red Devil at right back, along with James O'Brien.
Jake O'Brien.
Sorry. With O'Brien and Jake O'Brien and where are we? Tarkovsky.
James Tarkovsky
as the middle two. So dropping Keane. We've got Mikalenko left back. We've got Ndai. We've got Garner Gay. We've got KDH. We've got
Tyler
Dibbling.
Dribbling.
Yeah. And then Grealish and Barry Ireland up front. Danny has gone again, similar. James Garner right back, O'Brien and Tarky dropping Keane, Miko left back. Garner gave Merlin as the two. KDH, I'd imagine, is in the 10, and Grealish, and Barry again up front. There's more Barry people than Beto people, it seems, at the moment. Hazrat, again, Garner, Tarky and Kino this time, middle diddle. Miko on the left, KDH and Garner Gay as your two centre mids. Skillerman, Charlie and Grealish, again with Barry up front. Roy, they're all ever so slightly different all the time. James Garner right back, Keane and O'Brien this time. So Roy would drop Tarks as well. Mikalenko with Merlin and KDH as your two. Interesting, neither Garner Gay in there. Grealish and Alcaraz. I think as three attacking players, if that's behind your striker, whoever it is, I'd agree. I just think you've got two defensive centre mids. Why not have three very good ball attacking midfielders behind the striker? It just makes sense. And then West Egg, again, more people dropping Tarkovsky, O'Brien, Garner on right back, O'Brien, Kino, Miko, Garner Gay alongside KDH this time, Skillerman, Grealish, and Alcaraz. So I'm going off what he's saying there. West Egg seems to fancy Grealish in the 10 or Alcaraz in the 10. Not too sure. But again, Barry up front. So it seems to be that no one can quite agree. To be fair, this is what Bry's saying. Just while I have a little gander at one or two others and see if there's any bit there. But generally, we can't agree. A lot of people dropped Tarkowski, though.
Yeah, I did see
I'd be shocked if it happened. Be shocked if it happened, to be fair. But that's where we are. And I like the game in the comments because Emma's emoji game's taken on a life of itself. Some people saying Skilliman should be a goat and Dwight McNeil should be a snail. So keep them coming.
What Russ?
I
didn't ask
a bit
you.
harsh on Tarky, to be fair to Colin.
Yeah, there is a lot of Tarkowski hasn't been that good, but I think he's been good enough in the past to warrant that he will come good. I don't think Tarkowski plays that well with Michael Keane. I think Michael Keane's playing really well, though. That's the way it is. Russ, I was going to ask you, what you scared of anything here? Because, I mean, we've got Iliman and Jai that is literally, I am 100% sure that his dad is Lionel Messi's dad. And we've got Jack Grealish that's just as good as well. Like, we've got two absolute goats on the wings. Like,
you do.
Incredible. Probably the best wingers we've had in ages, Russ. Sorry.
You do.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, and we were talking about this on Cottage Talk, that we would play to their strengths against them and make them defend. And because I don't think either one wants, especially Grealish. And listen, Grealish is a player. I'm happy you guys have him because I never wanted Jack Grealish. I don't like Jack Grealish at all. He has a lot to offer you, and I'm glad that he's offering a good amount. But I have an issue with players that dive as much as this guy does. So I am fearful of him. Yeah, I like that. I'm fearful of him because I just don't like his game. But I am fearful of him. I will admit that.
Yeah, he's Iliman and Jai. It's interesting because you think he's not good defensive, but he is. But like you say, Jack Grealish. It's the same. That's the thing with wingers. I think with wingers, it's a battle of who wins, isn't it? Which winger's going to end up defending instead of doing what they want to do.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Like, yeah, is Jack Grealish going to? If Jack Grealish is attacking, we're rubbing our hands. If he's having to get back and do slide tackles, that's not what Jack Grealish wants to do. In the same with Iliman and Jai, so it's going to be a good battle on the wings. In this game, I am really excited about it. I think GOAT for Iliman and Jai is perfectly worthy. He is just that goal that he scored last game. But it's all good. These players like Iliman and Jai and Grealish playing well, but it's about a team. And I love our left winger. I love our right winger, but our striker isn't doing it. So that's a big problem. And also our wing backs are not playing that well as well. So that's a big problem. You need a good function of the 11. And I think we've got parts that are good and other parts that ain't good, which is a little bit worrying for us. I'm excited about this. This is going to be a big, big game. It is that time, people. It is that time. I mean, my light's just gone off. I don't know why. All right. If you can't see my face as good now, sorry. To anyone that was enjoying it. Right. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Paul go first on the score prediction. Get your score predictions in and we want your goal scorers. So I'm going to let Paul go first. And then I'm going to get Russ's score prediction.
Oh.
And then I'm going to get my score prediction.
Yeah, with Harry in the Spurs game. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Then I'm going to get mine. But yeah, we are going to have to get Russ's score prediction, guys.
Enough with that, Dan. Enough.
Do you know what? Me and Russ, we go well until the end of the show, until this score prediction time. I'll put him at the bottom anyway. I'm not having him next to me now. Score prediction time. Get him away. Get him away. I mean, I'm headbutting Iwobi now. Let's do this. Score prediction.
I can't wait to give you my score prediction.
Well, I can't wait for it, mate, because I know you think you're going to lose. So, right. Okay. Paul first, score prediction, goal scorers. Then Russ. I'm not going to give him a boo because I'll wait until he gives it. Right. And then we'll do mine. Paul, what are you going to do?
I never want to say I'm confident because I very rarely am. I do think after our amazing run against Fulham at Goodison, and then it's sort of falling off towards the end just before we left, I think we can get back to it being a little bit of a good run at home against Fulham again. And I just think people will spur them on a little bit. I really do. Fulham are a decent side, but I don't think we will attack very high. I don't think we'll be very high up the pitch a lot. So I don't know whether there's going to be a lot of space for their guys to get sort of around us. And I do fancy Ndiaye and Grealish to cause more problems going forward than have to deal with more going back. So I'm going for a 2-0 win.
Okay.
I'm going for a 2-0. But it's not like I don't think we'll dominate everything. I just think it'll be one of those first goals huge. Always seems to be between us. I think we'll nick it first, hold on for a long time, which is what we can sometimes do. And then, Dibbling comes on in the 90th minute and scores. And then he should start every game after that, apparently. So 2-0 for me. First goal. Dan, you need a Beto goal. And so maybe this is the time. So Beto to score the first. Some ricochet off his arse or something. And then Dibbling 90th minute. 2-0.
Do you know what, though? I did say, and I'll be honest with you, Russ, I was on a space with an Everton fan called Jack. He's a bit of a good lad. He's a funny one. And he was saying Beto's not going to score in the next 3 games. This is the 3rd game, by the way. It was Man City, Sunderland, and he didn't even start against Sunderland. But I thought it was. He goes. I bet you £100 that Beto won't score in the next 3 games, and Beto hasn't scored yet. And this is the last game. So I'm a Rocky. I'm Italian stallion. I'm a fighter. I never give up. But I did message Jack and I says, "Don't worry, I will send the money." I think I've lost the bet because I don't think Beto's going to score. I don't even know whether Beto's going to start. That's the big problem. He didn't even start last game. How can he score when he's on the bench? So, it's funny. It's a good. He might score. This is what Paul's on about, Russ. I was just updating you of what was going on. So Paul's backing me there, Russ.
Okay. So I will put it this way. So here I am talking about Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish will actually score against Fulham, but I think Fulham are going to score 2. So I am going with Josh King to get his first league goal. It should have already happened, but it was taken away by VAR. Okay, that was, ridiculous because it was a fantastic goal. Josh King is a player. I'm of any player tomorrow. That is the number 1 player to fear is Josh King, in my opinion. Josh King to score. And Alex Iwobi to score 2-1 to Fulham.
Of course, he chucked away. I was thinking he wasn't going to say Iwobi then, people. When he started with Jack Grealish, I actually thought he was going to say he was going to batter him then. But
I'm going 2-1 to Fulham.
Yeah, 2-1. Iwobi, King. He does love King, doesn't he? He does.
I do.
Decent,
I do, guys. I do.
I've seen him. Yeah. Bit of young talent. We all love it. Right. My score prediction, people. By the way, I want to say a spanking. I really want to give Russ a proper spanking because I like to get one over on him. But I do watch Fulham and I know they're decent, so I can't be stupid here with the score prediction. They are decent. It's going to be an odd game for us, by the way. They've got some decent players. I'm going to go for, I think 3-2, 3-2. Okay. And that's a mad score. And I've got to name loads of goal scorers now because I generally do think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do. I think a goal will go in early, and these got good attackers. So 3-2 to Everton. 2 goal scorers for you. I'm going to go for, I think, your new guy that I said's decent. Is it Kevin?
Yeah. Kevin. Yep. And Iwobi, right?
And I think no, not Iwobi. He can do one, mate. I think Wilson. He just pop up sometimes. Wilson can score against us. I think Wilson might score. Yeah, he can. He's got a good left foot on him, man. He has Wilson. Yes, I can see him pinging one in the number 10 position, just landing on one of the knockdowns and scoring. So there's your 2. Iwobi can do one. Our goal scorers, I'm going to go for Jake O'Brien. I know a few people are not wanting to play right back. I think he'll have a good game right back and he'll score. Okay. Illiman and Jai, he'll just continue it. Of course he will. And do you know what? I'm going to chuck Beto in, Jack, mate. You're having it. I'm going to go with Beto. Yeah. Beto's doing it. He is going to score. Of course he is. There you go. Illiman and Jai, Beto, Jake O'Brien, 3-2 to us. Written in the stars, baby. What have we got in the comments before we finish the show, people? What are the score predictions, Paul? Thanks everyone, by the way, for commenting. Yeah, it's when we do these shows, as Russell know as well. We just want them to be listened to and appreciated. And the fact that we've had so many lineups in the comments and we've got so many score predictions tells us it's worth it in what we do. So thank you all. What have we got?
Right, Hazrat in first. 2-1 Everton, Skilliman and Grealish. Iwobi for Fulham. But at 3 points. Eugene early. Eugene's coming early. 4-1. Bam.
Yes. Grealish go on, Eugene.
Grealish hat trick. And I gets the other one. He hasn't said. So it doesn't matter.
You don't like that, does he?
No, don't like that. He won't like this either. 5-1. Pause.
Yes.
Have you watched Fulham this year? Have you watched Fulham? We're not Wolves. Have you watched Fulham?
Do you know what the mad thing is? Do you know what the mad thing is? Like before we did this show on Twitter or X, Pause was like, "Oh yes, you've got Russ on. I love Russ so much." And then all of a sudden he nice. And then he attacks him.
Destroys me. He destroys me.
And then he just goes at him like that with a 5. This is why I love Pawsey. You know what I mean?
With love.
You know what? There's no friends in football.
No, I guess not. I thought we were friends.
You should say that as a compliment, Russ, because he normally says 6 or 7. So
he did go, yeah.
Oh wow, I'm getting a little respect. Okay.
There you go. There you go. He's still got Pickford scoring a penalty. Barry gets a brace. That'd be a turn up. Giving your goal to Bassey as well.
Okay.
To Shirley. James has gone 2-0 and Charlie Alcaraz. Emma went 1-0. Barry Ireland on the score sheet.
Ooh, Emma
I'd like it. Wouldn't it be good actually though if Barry did score and he went and celebrated right in front of Moyes? It just gave him the V's or something.
What happened?
Because he seems to be in a bit of a mood at the moment. Elsel and die hat trick. Grealish 3 assists. Why not? That'd be all right. Danny Ellis went 2-0. Oh, 3-1 it was for Elsel, by the way. 1-0 for Roy in France. Watching from France. Barry 1-0. Bring the odds down on that scoreline.
Few 1-0s.
2-1 and die 2. Okay. Iwobi for you.
See, I can live with this. I can live
2-1 for Nick.
With the close ones. Okay.
Yeah.
And narrow, yeah, of course.
Nick's not from the times.
Barry for us, Wilson for you.
Yeah, Nick's lacking tonight. You know what I mean, Nick? Where's your times of the goals?
Yeah.
He tells us the whole story.
Good point. Well, maybe he's not. Confident.
Maybe it's making some cheese on toast as he's watching the show. Probably making some cheese on toast as he's watching the show and couldn't do the times.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, true enough. Where are we? Yeah, Eltel says, and die first hat trick in El Dickinson. Well, he's got to keep knocking off the records, hasn't he? Let's see. There are other ones, but I'm just making my way around. Ollie's in as well. Yeah, making my way around. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of comments. Bryce says 3-1 for us. Beto, Skillyman, Dibbling, and King for you. Anytime Josh King, though, I can't think past old Josh King. Came back and haunted us against Watford, you know. Ollie reckons us 1-0. So, yeah, that's about it.
Ollie says use 1-0, didn't he?
He does.
Ollie says use 1-0. So, you know what? There were a lot of score predictions. Was 2-1, wasn't it? 2-1. It was close. I think two good teams. As we've done the show, when you look at it, two really good teams. But I think the position that we're in, and with us both playing so bad this season, I think we both know how big 3 points would be to get one over on each other here. So it could really kickstart what we need, because a win here could crack you on to push for the Europa League that we all dream about this season. People, Russ, give yourself a plug. Where can they find you?
Sure. So you can follow me on X at Russ_Goldman, and also at Cottage Talk. And please do check out the YouTube channel. I wish I was doing the numbers you guys are doing, so please check out Cottage Talk on YouTube.
We have got his links as well in the description. I always make sure I put them in the description as well. If you can go over and subscribe, to be fair, he's cracking. Every time we play him, then you've got him there. When we play Fulham, you could jump on and see what he's got to say about Everton. And as you can see, he's a cracking guy as well. So do support him, because it's a hard game sometimes. It's nice to get your listeners. The league table, I didn't realise we was head and head for this 14th and 15th, but there you go.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look at it. Well, there you go. It is a big game then, isn't it? To crack on.
It is, yeah. I mean, also as well, I think it was Eugene who mentioned before that it's last game before another international break. Christ almighty.
What is the point on international breaks?
Oh, they do me head in. Yeah, Ollie's the Sunderland fan who was on, obviously, on Monday. So, he's on our side. He's on our side.
Yeah,
but it could be good for either of us, Ross. I think neither of us want a defeat. That's for certain.
Sure.
But a win could really push us up.
Yep.
Like I said there, though, if you look at there, we're on 12. Fulham's on 11. If we win, 15 points. 15 points, 10. 15 points is 10. So 10. You can. Don't panic, Fulham or Everton, this early on in the season. We're both going to have a good season. And you know what I like, Russ? Whatever happens this game, we both go and fulfill the boots that I think we should be fulfilling, which we're not doing yet. Russ, last words? Russ, last words?
Yeah, so I agree with what you said, Dan. I think the position we are currently is not where we're going to end for both of our clubs. I'm hoping that we're both in the top half of the table by the end of the season, and by next time we talk too.
Completely agree. Right, everybody, thanks for listening. We will be back with match reaction. I hope I get to send Russ a nice message of how much we've spanked him, but it's a very hard game, so we'll see.
You got to go there, Dan. I'll just say Iwobi to score 2 goals now, okay?
Do you know what? I haven't said much. Last time I said about Iwobi, he scored against us, so I haven't said nothing about him, so I'm not cursing it. You can't even say I've cursed at people because I've said nothing. I've made sure I haven't spoke about. I did say I don't like him a little bit, but here we go. Up the top is everyone. Big game tomorrow. This gets you ready, doesn't it? Massive game tomorrow. Let's win at the Old Dickie again and smash these up. Fulham. Here we go. Up the top is dropping the banner now, everyone. Make sure you do like and subscribe and support the channel. See you later. Cheers, Russ, for coming on. And Paul.
Cheers, guys.
Let's go.
Look after yourselves, everyone. Enjoy the game.